Welcome to the Miracle You, guiding you on the journey towards finding passion and purpose, and how to discover, create, and live a life by your design. Whether your success has been plentiful or your missed opportunities have been overwhelming, we can help you become a more empowered, masterful person and show you how to share your gift with the world. It's time to inspire change from within with the host of the Miracle You, Vince Kramer.
Hello, imagination. I'm Vince Kramer, your host, and welcome to the Miracle You, where you learn about the magic of living your life by finding the example in real life.
I've shared with the imagination several times the understanding that we take on the beliefs, the values, the understandings of the people in our lives that we chose to help us develop our personalities, to help us learn how to live in this 3D world as we work towards uncovering the reason that we're here on earth, the difference that we're meant to make. And there's a time that we learn that these values, these beliefs might not be supporting us or empowering us on the journey that we've decided to come to this earth to experience. And it's time to do some inner work, to look inside ourselves, to find out, am I truly aligned with the core values that I may have gotten from my parents? Am I aligned with the beliefs that I use to, shall we say, look at every circumstance in our life and make a decision on what that circumstance means? Do they empower us or do they disempower us? Is it time for us to really choose or really dig deep into ourselves to find our true core values? Do we look at the belief systems that are no longer serving us and really change those beliefs into ones that support us going forward? I'm with Suzanne Tulien today. With over 2.5 decades of strategic communication, employee brand engagement, and internal brand development, Suzanne's inside out branding building strategy creates the clarity and actions necessary for clients to drive consistency, distinction, and advocacy long term. Because her brand DNA approach is radically different, she is paving the way for companies and personal brands to elevate their value position and actually reduce marketing cost while growing market share. As an author, Suzanne has had great success. Her latest book, Personal Brand Clarity, Identify, Define, and Align to What You Want to Be Known For. She is helping to pave the transformational highway to grow by conscious, strategic design and not by default. Suzanne Tulien, are you ready to share the miracle of you with the imagination?
Vince, I am so ready.
I'm excited. I don't get a chance to actually interview too often in my backyard. So this is awesome. Another person in Colorado Springs. So welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here too.
Oh, me too. Me too. What a lovely place to live.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, Suzanne, the introductions never give a whole lot of information at 75 words or so. Could you share a little bit more about yourself and what you're doing in the world?
What am I doing in the world? I am clarifying people's idea of who they are. That's what I'm doing in the world. And I'm doing it through systems and processes and a methodology I developed over 18 years ago. I'm also a lover of nature and outdoors, and I like to play outside all the time. I'm a fly fisher woman, and I am a golfer, fairly new golfer, about 3 years now. I'm a traveler, an adventurer. I love experiencing life so much that I make sure that it's always in the calendar. Something interesting is always on the calendar coming up.
Excellent. Well, I hope that our time together today was something that was interesting on your calendar.
Absolutely, of course.
All right. Let me ask you this. So obviously, you're talking about clarifying for others. Obviously, you clarified who you are.
Mhm.
Tell us about the process of that.
The process is really an unpacking of core values, your what I call your personal brand style attributes, what truly makes you different. I have a set of what we call standards of living, and this comes in 6 different buckets. And these buckets are everything from your professional world to your family life, your financial well-being, your spirituality, and all of these things together, that kind of all these buckets that make up who you are every single day, right? We set those standards so that you can begin to live up to them. And then we help you design a mantra and then a why statement, basically, like what is your mission, right?
Ah, right down my alley.
Yes, I know. I know. That's why I'm so excited to be here.
So before I ask, some of the ways or some of the things that happened that got you where you are right now, could you share a little bit about what you uncovered for your mission?
Yes, I exist to be a co-creative partner in the evolution of self-alignment and authenticity. And I do that as a catalyst through consciousness, inspiration, and growth. So that's my mission or my exist statement or why I exist statement.
Mm.
So it's really about being that co-creative partner in the evolution of not only mine, but others' self-alignment and knowingness around their authenticity.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'd love to hear that. We've got so many definitions of who we should be. It's nice when we find ours.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. You're so right. And it's so just at some level, it's very um, leveling, where you get really grounded, but at the same time, it's so liberating. You just explode and begin to bloom, right?
Oh, yes. Let me ask you this. Was there a time in your life that you had some type of wake up call to help you step into what you're doing now? This is really, really exciting and really needed work.
Mhm.
But it's usually when you have work like this, it's things that have happened in your life that really opened your eyes to there's more. Did that happen to you?
It did, and it did at a younger age. And then I was able to evolve with it into becoming who I am now and what I do. But it all started when I was in grade school. I did go to a Catholic school, and there was a lot of years where there were girl cliques within the school, and I ended up being the one that was being bullied in a lot of those years. And I think the big wake up call for me was realizing, well, what was it that was allowing or enabling me to be bullied? What was attracting the bulliness to me, right? Where was I hurting? What was it about that hurt that I had to check into, right? And really understand what that was. Why did it hurt? That sort of, ganging up on and making fun of, and what was all that about? It's really reflecting on that. At first I thought I wanted to be like these girls, right? I was really upset that they didn't include me in their cliques, that I wasn't a part of that. um, but at the same time, my wake up call was, why would I want to be doing this to other people? And what is that all about? And so I think I got kind of into just this major reflective mode and really started wondering who I was and why was I being vulnerable enough to take on this bullying, and what was I really acting out and attracting in that environment. So that's kind of how the ball started rolling into this direction of figuring out who I am and then standing in my own power so that I wasn't, number one, attracting it anymore. Or if I did get a sense of that in my environment, that I would be able to deal with it in a much different way than I did.
Awesome. I told you that there'd probably be something that you said that I would wander off in some direction in our podcast. And I really want to ask you, did you have that level of awareness when you were in grade school?
You know, I must have. you know, gosh, I've always felt that I was really intuitive, highly intuitive, and that I I was different in certain ways. I was multisensorial, and I could really pick up on so many different energies. And so I think I was, even though I couldn't articulate it like I might be able to now, but I sensed very well, very easily what was happening. And so I think I used that sensation to help me generate just a stronger understanding of what was actually happening and what I could actually do about it.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. That level of awareness were your parents supportive of your experiences and the fact that you were intuitive, multisensory? Were they supportive of that?
I don't think they were aware.
Okay.
I really don't. I did think that they thought I was different, but I don't think they really understood at that level. I mean, we had 4 kids in our family, and we were pretty all rambunctious, and they were both working. It was a working mom and working father, so I don't think they were. No, but that's a good question. But I think they know now.
Well, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. So as you started understanding, that you were responsible for some of the things that were happening and you can control what's happening in your life,
Mhm.
what moved you into the space of, wanting to help others uncover who they are and to bring that to the world?
Well, I think that I what I saw was I was being so impacted at that external level, external meaning my environment, and I which made me vulnerable to whatever was happening because I was not really strong internally, and I wasn't driving the bus, so to speak. I wasn't driving my own bus. I was letting the outside world impact and help me become who I thought I was being, right?
Mhm.
So it was that introduction that really made me realize that I can't be the only one being vulnerable to this external environment, and what can I do to begin getting myself back into the driver's seat. And that was really getting into more meditation, getting quiet time. I was in nature a lot. I took so many walks by myself as a child, and did a lot of reflection on my own. So I think I had my own little world going on at one point.
Oh, yeah, I understand. And it's needed.
Yeah, and I knew that if I could do that, and the more I did that, I felt more and more powerful to stand in my own authenticity. In that any other times that I would experience any bullying or anything like that, I was able to really stand up and know that that was not true, because I know when I'm out of alignment or when I'm in alignment. And when I'm in alignment, that's truth. And when I'm out of alignment, that means that things are happening that are untrue.
I've done some research, and as I look at what you're doing and what you're bringing to the world, it's kind of bringing the whole person into every aspect of their life. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right on the nail. Yeah.
So in doing that, could you share with us how brand DNA came about and how it helps people bring all aspects of their lives together?
Yeah. So my first book that is called Brand DNA was written from that methodology that me and my business partner co-pioneered. And that's for businesses with employees. And that's for us to help them unpack and really identify and define their brand's attributes collectively as an organization. this book that I recently published called Personal Brand Clarity is the book where I'm focusing that same methodology or process, but infusing it into the person, into the person's environment and their life. And the solo professional or the emerging leader, it's a good fit for. And for just people who want to understand who they are. And it's all about naming these attributes. You know, a lot of us think we have a set of core values, but may not have written them down. And if I ask you 1 month what your core values are, you may rattle off 4 or 5 core values that are suiting you at the time or really apparent maybe at the time. But next month I'll ask you the same question and I bet you there are 4 different values. You know, so the problem is that we are becoming sponges to our environment and we're really being reactionary instead of proactive and really carving out that fundamental foundational structure of who we are so that we can further step into that and infuse those attributes that we believe to be true as to who we are and resonate with us at the core and become those, step into those attributes specifically every single day. So then we start making those attributes more tangible in our lives, right? Through our actions and behaviors. So that's what the Personal Brand Clarity book helps people do is nail it, right? Just get it down so that I can now get more conscious, strategic, and deliberate in showing up that way. And we all know that the law of attraction reacts to that. Whether you're confused and in the gray area, it reacts to that, or you're super crystal clear, right?
For sure. You know, one of the interesting things that we share with Imagine Miracles about how much of our belief system, how much of our values are influenced by, you know, I don't know where your beliefs are, but I'm going to say the parents that we chose and the environment that we chose to come into. How much or how many times do you see people adjust their core values after what they brought from their childhood?
Well, that's a tough question because I think that what they may have thought was their childhood core values was really their parents' core values and the external environment's core values, because we are very impressionistic at a young age and we take on nurture versus nature, right? We take on our environments. But then as we grow and become more independent, we start chipping away at those values that have been kind of pasted on us during that time. And we're really beginning to uncover what we truly value. And it could be a little bit of that and a little bit of what you find out on your own. But oftentimes you should start shedding what you grew up to believe as your core values. And you start taking on your own, and you're able to really begin to articulate and translate what those values mean to you and your own actions and behaviors. And when you own them, right, and they really feel correct to you, and you'll notice that some of them aren't in alignment with what you were brought up with, right? And you're wondering, you know, what is that all about, right? It feels weird, but what is that all about? And is it true? Then it's a process. Number one, it happens through a lot of reflection and meditation and work, you know, real work. But I do think that we're born with a set of core values, but they're evolving and maybe even fighting against some of our environmental situations, right? But if we pay attention, right, and get more conscious, strategic, and deliberate, we can uncover those attributes that we can own and really begin to proliferate out there and not be so reactive to everything that's out there coming in versus us inside out. That makes sense?
You know, it certainly does. Especially the imagination is well aware of the concepts that you're sharing
Yes.
as a whole. So as you find then some of the people that come work with you, they may uncover a lot of values that they didn't know they had then. Is that true?
They often do. And, you know, at first I'll just have to say this, they are quite resistant in doing the intrapersonal work, right? They think they know themselves, but what they know is this facade that they've been putting on from being reactive to the external environment. And when I constantly have to tell them, this isn't about your customers, it's not about your friends, and it's not about your family right now. This is about you. You're right. If you strip all those things away on that external environment, you really just focused on who you are. What is that about? And that's, when they readjust their mindset to that, things just start flowing and they get super crystal clear. And, they start realizing those things that start manifesting tangibly in their environments that they never could manifest before because they were being someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing when you align with yourself, how the alignment and the energy, as you said, the law of attraction, the universe can pick up on that pretty quickly. And now there you go. Here's what
Yes.
you're looking for.
Sometimes it's instant. I mean, it just depends on how much you are believing what you're thinking, because thoughts only become things through the feeling the thoughts perpetuate, right? So it's really the feeling. Yeah. And I just find that when you really uncover who you are and you have that resonance and alignment, your vibration automatically raises. And it's just a natural thing that happens to people. They start manifesting those things that they love. Yes.
You just can't help but raising your vibration when you're you. What an
Exactly.
amazing concept. Huh?
I know. That's the magnet, right? Strengthening the magnet is all about finding out who you are.
It certainly is. And I like the fact that you said it's real work.
It is real work.
And that's one thing that I've noticed in the work that I do with individuals and with companies, that sometimes we're willing to do the work as long as it's not work on the inside, like you said.
Exactly. Lots of resistance there.
It's a scary place in there because we're not sure we're going to like what we find. But when we really uncover exactly who we are and why we're here, what's not to love? I think I posted that on Facebook just the other day. What's not to love about yourself once you uncover exactly who you are and why you're here?
Yeah, I'm often telling my prospects that, be careful because you just might fall back in love with who you are. They're like, wait a minute, I love myself. And you're like, well, do you really? You just
the definitions that we give ourselves about things like that. Okay, I do love myself. I do have an open heart. We give ourselves a certain definition, and all of a sudden we uncover the magic of us, the magnet of us. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, I downplayed myself so much. I didn't realize that I'm bringing that. And in a lot of cases, it's like you said, society has told us who we're supposed to be or how we're supposed to look or even who we are. So we stay in our place.
It may be telling us, but we don't always have to listen.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We don't need to listen to it,
Right?
for sure. Let's step out. So could you give us an example of one of the people that have worked with you? And I know we want to keep everything confidential, but could you share just kind of the generals and what's happened to one of your clients that really found him or herself and stepped out into the world?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of examples. One is this gal was in a particular medical field and she had been struggling but wanting to grow her business. She went through my course, and by the end of the course, she knew for sure she was in the wrong industry. And she completely closed down her business and started something new. And is so exciting for her and so powerful. So she got the answer that she needed, and she blossomed in this other field that she felt really connected to, but I guess never just decided before that it was right for her. So that was powerful. Another one was just in the industry of travel, and she was starting her business, really smart gal, super creative, but was struggling to find her client. And we got crystal clear on her first, because your client is really very similar to yourself, right? And the same core values and style attributes, those types of things. And she uncovered adventure as being so deep in her style attributes that, and she wasn't really showcasing that in her delivery of her products and services that she offered in the travel industry. So she broke loose and just really began to showcase her passion for travel, her knowledge around travel, became very highly educating to her clients, and started video blogging with her own travels and started traveling more. And so she just exploded and blossomed and was having so much more fun because she gave herself permission to be her, right? You just be you, right? And she did. And now she's just exploded in her industry. So those are some fun things to just think about that is out there for you. And we don't even know it until we do the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the things that we share with Imagine Miracles is as you become all of who you are, and as you bring that to the world, you actually are attracting those people who are looking for you. Could you, as an expert in brand clarity, as an expert in personal brand clarity, bringing finding the energy in you, shining it out, could you share your thoughts on how people, once they find themselves, once they align their business with who they are, how they attract people?
Well, like attracts like, and we know that that's what the law of attraction is really about. Trying to think of a specific example other than the two I just gave you in regards to just showing up authentically and really stepping into those attributes that you align to through the process. Knowing what your authentic differentiators are, you can begin then to leverage those differentiators in how you create the narrative of who you are. It goes, of course, into your marketing copy, into how you express or advertise and market yourself. It's really a powerful consciousness that enables the sales process to become so easy. Like, I know when I'm in alignment, when I can make a $20,000 sale in 20 minutes. It's just so easy because I'm in my value position. I'm understanding what I stand for. I am confident. I am resonating with the other person. I've obviously attracted them and they are ready to go. So it's just this, quantum physics sort of magic that happens with that alignment. I'm not sure how to express, an answer. If I'm not answering your question, just re-ask it again.
No, you answered it perfectly. And as you say, once you understand the magic of energy and how energy works,
good, bad, or indifferent. It's not
yes.
all, if, and again, this, and I'm sure you talk about this too, is if you're not in alignment, you're going to continue to attract things that continue to make you out of alignment.
So
Right?
yes, we're all amazing creators, aren't we? We
Yes.
just might not be creating what we want.
Exactly.
So believe it or not, we have already worked our way to the end of our time together, and there's a couple things that I would love for you to share. First of all, what parting piece of guidance do you have for the imagination?
I would certainly say gift yourself the time to find yourself. Gift yourself the time to find yourself. That will change everything. It's as simple as that. But stop feeling guilty for giving yourself that time. Start meditating more. Start inquiring, getting curious. But gift yourself that time. That's why you're here, right? It's why you're here. This is the journey to find yourself, right? And that's what Buddha says. So your purpose is to find your purpose and step into it fully.
And you don't have time for anyone else if you don't have time for yourself, truly.
That's right. That's right.
So that's great advice. Thank you so much for sharing that with the listeners. Suzanne, I know people want to learn more about you. They want to find out about personal brand clarity, the book that's just come out. Could you share where they can find out information about you and how they can get in touch with you?
Yes, my website, thank you, is brandascension.com. And my book was just published in October, and it's on Amazon.com, obviously, and my website, so you can get it there too. I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, all the good social media sites. You might find me there. I love to communicate with people that are on this journey. So you can even call and you can actually set up a free 30-minute personal brand breakthrough session on my site under the Contact Me page. There's an option to do that. And I also have a free personal brand Kickstarter toolkit on my site. It's on a tab called Kickstarter. And that is just a set of resources to get you thinking differently about who you are and kind of dip your foot in the pool and assess yourself about how well you know who you are and learn a little bit more about it.
Awesome. How generous. Thank you so much for sharing that with the audience. I'll make sure all that information's available on Suzanne's show page. Just go to themiracleu.com. About in the middle of the show page, all that information will be available, to include an email address, Facebook, and every different way that you can get in touch with Suzanne.
Great.
Suzanne, thank you so much for sharing yourself with us today, what you're doing in the world. It's so obvious that you're on track and you're doing what you're meant to do, helping people find themselves. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you're bringing to the world.
Oh, and likewise, you guys are doing awesome stuff. And I just, anytime I can support you, you let me know.
Back at you.
Okay.
Speaking of us guys, on behalf of Mary and the entire Imagine Miracles team, we want to wish each and every one of you a miracle day.
You've completed this episode of The Miracle You, but we have plenty more to help you discover your own personal passion and purpose. Head over to themiracleu.com for free resources to assist you on your journey, as well as register for our free webinar, Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 Mind Awakening Steps Toward Your Unique Purpose, or apply for a one-on-one Your Life, Your Way breakthrough session and discover your next best step on your journey. All available exclusively on our website. That's themiracleu.com. We look forward to sharing more experiences of passion, purpose, and life by design next time, right here on The Miracle You.